All right, we are back in business. We're going to take a look at game week 4 results. Then we'll take a look at some picks for game week 5. All right, game week 4. So I finished with 55 points. Very disappointing. I dropped from 106 down to 117. I actually thought it was going to be way worse than that. Felt like none of my players were hitting. I mean, it started off okay. I had 8 points from Bernadeschi, scrubbed the midfielder, and brought in Messi, which ended up being the right choice. But 2 points from Acosta, 2 points from Gosdog. I mean, Philadelphia, this is the first game I actually backed them. And they played so well up until this game week, and they just lay an egg. Wagner with 2 points, Gosdog 2 points. They're supposed to get a PK. Ref says no, so no PK opportunity there. And then, so game weeks 2 and 3, every single one of my defenses and goalkeepers returned. And then this game week, complete opposite. Duds all around. So I was really disappointed, especially because I spent extra money to bring in Lloris, and he lets in a super easy goal. So just disasters as far as choosing defenses this week. Regardless, 55 points, 117th after 4 weeks. I will take that. Next, let's check out the overall budget. So I'm at 112.85. To be honest, I feel like I'm starting to get a little concerned. I'm seeing too many teams with, I don't know, 113, 114, 115. And if I want to get some of the defenders I really want, maybe I need to prioritize choosing the players I know are going to rise a little bit. We'll see though. All right, let's get to choosing players for game week 5. So this is the international break for a lot of leagues, but not for MLS. But that means that some of the top players are going to be gone from these teams, which also means there's going to be some unexpected players playing, some cheap players, some opportunities if you're watching lineups to get some cheap players on good teams. All right. With that said, this is the backup goalie for Minnesota. I think their starter plays for Canada, maybe. 4.5. Minnesota's a great defensive team. LA has not been good this year. So home game for Minnesota. This is an awesome matchup. Can't beat the value. Same deal here. I think these are two great options for everybody. If Bush starts, I know there's another goalie that potentially will start, but home game for Columbus against New York City, decent odds for a clean sheet, 4.5. It's a good option. Two more keepers I'm gonna look at. So I'm pretty sure I don't know if this guy's gonna start, but I know that Zach Steffen, their starter, is away with the US team. This is a good matchup. The home game for Colorado. You wouldn't expect tons of goals in this one because you like this at 4.5. And then an actual starting keeper for a good team, Seattle, against a very bad team at 5.8. I mean, this is a really good option. If it weren't for the other cheap options, this would be at the top of my list. As it stands, I think all four are great picks. Let's get to some picks on defense. So I do think I'm going to go with one premium defender this week. And these are four I'm looking at. Oriano for Cincinnati. I don't love the matchup from a clean sheet perspective. I do think there's a decent chance Atlanta scores here, but he's playing as a winger. He's got crazy good goal scoring odds for a defender. So I like the potential there. Lovitz is the other guy near the top of my list. And the reason is the matchup. Nashville has been good. They just had that huge win over Philadelphia. Montreal has been bad. They're having trouble scoring at all. So high chance of a clean sheet here. Next, Blackman for Vancouver. So two things in his favor. Number one, Vancouver has been awesome on defense. Their expected goals against has been best in the league through 4 games. I know it's a small sample size, but they're a good team. In addition, had a huge game last week, good average score. He's going to be a price riser, potentially a maximum price riser. So good for team value. Now, the one strike against is going up against Chicago. Chicago attack has been pretty good. They're creating chances, they're scoring goals. They've got the striker who just can't stop scoring. But they're going to be a little shorthanded. I know they're going to be down one of their playmakers. So potentially Chicago attack is not as lethal this week. Dwan Jones for Columbus. Basically, I like Columbus against New York. Columbus is a good team, good at maintaining possession. Jones should have some chances for some key passes, crosses, assists. So at 6.3, that's really good value. All right, four more options. So I will likely have two or three of these players. Jonathan Bell for Seattle at 4.8 if he's starting, which I think he should be. Really good chance for the clean sheet. Really like this matchup. Raheem Edwards for Red Bulls against the bad Toronto side. 5.3 at wingback should be getting some crosses and key passes, potential for assists. Now, the downside with both of these players, I got to look a little closer, but potential for a price decrease if they don't return, which I really want to avoid. So there is a risk. Like, I think they're good picks for this week, but if team value is a big concern for you, you got to proceed with caution with these guys. All right, Tate Johnson. We already talked about the matchup. He's going to be a big price riser because of a massive game. That is if he's starting, which I think he has a decent chance of starting this week. If he does, he will be in my lineup. And if not, we'll find somebody else. Lastly, Bombino for San Diego. So San Diego, I think, has been second best so far defensively in terms of expected goals against. Obviously, that's a four-game sample size, so we'll see how it goes. The major downside here, they're playing at Austin. Austin's a good team, offensively, defensively, just all around. But at 4 million, the price is definitely right. So I think Bombino will be in my roster. I think these four players will be in a lot of lineups. Rusnak for Seattle scores, assists, bonus points. Great matchup. This is a no-brainer. He will probably get the armband on my team. Mukhtar, kind of same deal. He's been good. He's their PK taker. I know we missed one, but I think he made one last week. And the matchup is awesome against Montreal. Evander, I feel like he's coming on the last week or two. Again, not crazy about the matchup, but I do like Cincinnati from an attack standpoint, slightly more than from a defensive standpoint in this game. And Evander's just getting tons of shots. I feel like he's just getting the ball and shooting. So you like that in terms of the bonus points. Ojeda for Orlando. I don't think this is a slam dunk matchup. I don't think DC's defense is atrocious, but he is involved in the attack, getting the assists, getting the goals. So I do think this is a good pick. All right, four more. Georgi Mihailovic for Colorado. Colorado attack has been decent. Portland, not been very great all around. 8.8. He's on set pieces. I do like the chances here to get at least like 5 points. Forsberg, same deal. I'm not actually as crazy about him, but the goal scoring odds were pretty good. And this is a great matchup for Red Bulls. So he's definitely a good pick this week. Pet Beal for Charlotte. I don't really back Charlotte at this point. I think they have underperformed. But at 7.8, if you want to try to afford another premium defender, this might be the way to go. All right, and then Dreyer. I think this is the one that I'm going to have the most debate over because I would like to have him. The issue is the price tag, 9.6, and then it's a road game for San Diego. But it might just not matter. I mean, he's got so many goals and assists. He's got so many bonus points. This average is not accurate because it doesn't include his week one score, which was like 16 points or something. So he might just be good enough that you say, who cares that Austin is a good defensive team? San Diego's on the road. Let's just go for it. All right, let's go on to our forwards. Benteke has been awesome for me. However, it's not a guarantee he's on my roster. The main reason is the road game for DC. Orlando's pretty good team. So this might not be a game where he's getting 6, 7, 8 shots like he has been. His goal scoring odds are lower than I thought they would be. So I'm a little hesitant at 10.3 to put him in the lineup. Yeboah, supposedly he didn't start last game because of a little injury. So slight concern there as far as how many minutes he's going to get. I think if he's in the starting lineup, though, he will be in my roster. He's just a great player, and this is a good matchup. Okay, Navarro, I do think he's going to be in my lineup. He's got good goal scoring odds. Colorado attack's been decent. Portland's been bad. He's got a good overall average, so potential for a price rise, and he's only 8.8. So I do think he might go a little bit under the radar, but I think he's a good pick. And then the last one I'm considering is Kuipers from Chicago. I mean, he is just scoring goals left and right. The issue with this is the matchup. Vancouver defense is good, and Chicago's on the road, and Chicago's missing one of their playmakers. On the one hand, maybe he's just so good that we don't care about the matchup and we just put him in because he's going to score a goal. On the other hand, maybe this is the week to fade him and he comes back into the lineup next week. All right, so those are some of the key players for this week. The goal is to jump into the top 100. That would be awesome if I'm able to do that. The other goal is just to not drop like I did last week. So, to all of you guys, good luck. Hope to see you at the top of the leaderboard.